Hey everyone, it's Jelly Cards, and you're listening to the Jelly Cards podcast. We've been collecting since we were kids. Whether it's Pokemon cards or sports cards, being a collector at heart always comes first. You can listen to all our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And if you are enjoying these topics, please give us a rating and a follow on both Spotify and Apple, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, if you are ready, we are ready. Sit back, relax, and as always, keep spreading the love of the hobby from your friends at Jelly Cards. Bryce Young cards, man. Going up. Football.
Yeah. All cards are going up.
Well, it's maybe I should move my mic in.
But you said that you said that they haven't really moved since the draft.
Well, not like a crazy amount, but at least for the Bryce Young cards that I've been looking at, the Optic one, that's the first I've seen has gone up since like post-draft. So yeah, the last Optic Hollow that I was looking at or that I saw on the sold price, 66. So I put an $80 max bid thinking, oh, well, even if it goes 70 something, I'll still be able to get it. Nope, 81. Lost it.
Hey man, it happens.
I was really thankful for the Sal Frelick one because I was sitting there sweating like I put a max bid of 125 on it. He is good. So it wouldn't have been terrible, but I'm just like
I thought he was pretty good.
Right now I'm just putting bids out on like everything right now. It's really bad. I shouldn't be doing that.
You could blame John probably for that, right?
You should absolutely be doing all of that. Keep
definitely
doing it.
John's fault.
Blaming John or keep doing what he's doing?
Yeah, both. But the Sal Frelick one, so yeah, I put a max bid of 125, and with like 43 minutes left in the auction, it was still sitting at like $68 or something. I was like, wow, I might actually get this for under 100. And then 5 minutes left, it went to 99, and then it jumped over 100, and I'm like, oh boy. I was like, oh man, I just thought I was putting 125 and being safe. Like, I'm like, oh, this is actually going to go for 125. Do I really want this card? Now I'm sitting back going like, oh, this might be a bad choice. I was like, do I actually want this? And then I saw in the email that I lost it. It went for 127.50. I was like,
oh, so relieving.
Whew.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have been bad. No, Sal Frelick is having a really good season. I think he's still batting over 300. He's probably going to end up.
I'm pretty sure too.
He's probably going to end up being. Yeah, he's going to probably end up being one of the top hit leaders. I'm guessing in the MLB. He's already one of the top hit leaders right now. So it actually wouldn't, because it was a BGS pristine 10 auto got a 10, and it was his green refractor out of 99 first Bowman Chrome. So I'm like, it actually would have been a sweet card, but contact hitters versus like power hitters, like in the long run. I mean, would him being an all-star get him like that? Honestly, I was looking at it and going, what if he's like the next like Stephen Kwan, for the Guardians, like who kind of burst on the scene. Nobody was really paying attention much to his play since he got it. But then next thing you know, Stephen Kwan's one of the best average hitters in the league right now, and he got a lot of media attention at the All-Star break last year. So that's kind of what my thought process was for Sal Frelick. But
I don't know. There's got to be. I don't know. There's probably plenty of Milwaukee fans though who might like.
Yeah, but probably compared to maybe some of the other, like obviously Honey Nut Cheerios is on the team, and how do you?
Another good guy to get.
Yeah, and then what's the other guy, Turang or what?
Bryce Turang.
Yeah, Bryce Turang. Yeah, he's on there, and then you have oh my God, Rhys Hawkins. I mean, there's some I guess more power hitters on the team.
Okay, well nobody's buying Rhys Hoskins cards. Okay, and if you
That's what you think.
Seek help.
John's got a few already.
There's no way
somewhere
anyone's buying
in the
Rhys Hoskins cards.
Well, I guess I'm buying a Reese Hawkins card.
Yeah, just to spite you.
Jesus, no.
Yep.
Don't
That's
be
how
doing
Jason
that.
operates.
Yep.
Everything
I'm
Jason
buying
does
some
is
Reese
out of
Hawkins.
spite.
He played for the Cubs,
Yeah.
right? Or was that some sort of fever dream I just
No, that
made
was
up?
there was talks that he was going to be our first baseman. That they were going to
He
sign
never
him.
signed here, right? Yeah.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
Right.
he
Okay.
went.
Oh yeah,
No.
he went to the Brewers and said, "Yeah, don't buy." Oh, we got Hosmer instead. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I remember Hosmer.
Oh,
I like
yeah,
Hosmer.
sucks.
He was a really nice guy.
You met him?
No, he sucks.
At work.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah. I got to meet him at work. He was a nice dude.
I think he does a podcast or something now.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you got to meet all these famous people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But enough with the baseball talk.
Thank God.
Because we talking football.
I thought we were going to do show and tell.
Well, we are going to do some show and tell, but we're going to be talking football. NFL offseason is kicking off. Obviously, the draft just passed. Here's the thing about the draft, and then we'll get into the show and tell. But every year, it's really hard to not look at the Bears and just go, Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah, but every team's doing the exact same thing, except if you're like.
Except if you're like I the Saints.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh. I don't know.
Pittsburgh had a very Pittsburgh draft. They drafted a lot of like, oh yeah, that makes sense, and he'll probably be very good there. Ravens had a very Ravens draft. They had a very of course, Mike Green, the first round edge rusher that everybody thought was going to go in the top 15 falls to them at like 50 something because he has off the field issues, but like the one organization that can handle him is the Ravens, so he'll probably be an all pro there and make no money, so good for them.
John, you remember the movie The Comebacks? Spoof movie? It was a spoof movie on like sports, on like past sports movie. Damn. All right, never mind. You're not going to get the...
You can still do it, though. Someone who listens and watches the show might.
Well, the movie The Comebacks, so basically it's a coach takes over a really crappy college football team. Like they suck. And they're starting their practices, and he's having them scrimmage, and they're all just standing there on the field, and he's like, hike the damn ball. And so they hike it, and there's no quarterback. And he was like, well, I guess we need a quarterback. But somebody posted it on social media, and it said the 2025 Pittsburgh Steelers. And I was I thought that was really funny because
that is funny.
If you don't, I think unless it's already like a written in stone thing that Aaron Rodgers is going to the Steelers and it's just hush hush right now. If you are relying on Mason Rudolph to be your starter and Skylar Thompson is your backup,
they're not going to do it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think they're going to do that.
Did they say anything on why they didn't go for Shedeur? That's who I thought that Sanders was going to go to. Did Tomlin say anything about it? I feel like
I don't think he. I think a lot of people were just. I think a lot of teams were just setting an example for Shedeur. I think his flat. It's not the play. Here's the thing. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is going to be this elite quarterback in the NFL. I didn't think he was elite in college either. When he went up against top-ranked teams like Oregon, they would get creamed. You know, I mean, he played well, but is he an elite quarterback to get taken in the first round? Probably not. But I don't think he was worthy to get dropped down to the 5th round to go to Cleveland.
As like the second QB that they took in the draft.
They took him behind Dylan Gabriel, and I don't even think Dylan Gabriel is going to be that good in the NFL. So I don't know
he's not even gonna,
like.
He's not gonna play.
I think they made an example of him. I don't think they really wanted to deal with Dion too. I just think it's a lot of off-field stuff that teams are probably just not wanting to put up with.
Maybe,
but. Regardless, I think Pittsburgh should have took him. Like, if he's there, come on.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. Have either of you seen the movie Draft Day? Oh, man. Eric, have you seen it?
No.
It gets
That's the one with
Michael
Keaton, right?
Yeah. Kevin Costner.
Yeah, Costner.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. It gets a lot of crap because it's unrealistic, but there's some cool stuff in there that I like. Every time the draft comes around, now I think of that movie because he's just like similar to what I told you, Eric, that I want people to be doing for Caleb. Like the premise of the movie is there's this superstar, quote unquote, quarterback that everyone is projecting to go number one. And Kevin Costner's just like basically saying these guys are just like they're in a meeting with his two scouts, and the scouts are just kind of goofing off and saying random things. And Kevin Costner's just, he says, "I'm 2 seconds away from losing my shit on both of you." Because they're just like not doing any research or figuring out why this quarterback should not be number one or anything like that. And he kind of assigns them to find out what like the quarterback's weaknesses are. And in the movie, spoiler alert, the like one of the other head scouts does some digging and he finds out, like, again, it's a parody movie because everyone like makes fun of it, but it's pretty cool. He finds out that nobody went to the quarterback's birthday party. Like none of his teammates showed up to his birthday party. And that kind of triggers a thought in Kevin Costner's head, and he's like, okay, this guy's not a team player.
Which is a thing that happened in the NFL, by the way.
Right. Yeah, see? So it's like stuff like that. And it's just maybe something with Shador that people just don't publicize. Some scouts find out.
It's after, I mean, like me, somebody who like watches the draft, like a weirdo. He interviewed, it's very
they said he interviewed terribly.
Yeah. He interviewed terribly.
Yeah.
And then there were comments that Dion was like, yeah, there's only a few teams that I'm going to like let my kid go to. And like, so it was like, it's very public, but like,
they made an example of him.
Still to the point where he probably shouldn't have fell to the 5th round. And then also watching the draft, him getting picked in the 5th round after them picking Gabriel sounds like, their owner called the GM and said like, hey, he's still available. We should go get him. And Andrew Barry was like, well, we already got Gabriel. And he's like, well, I think we should go get Shador. And he's like, well, you do sign my paycheck, so I guess I have to do what you tell me.
Damn.
Because they like traded up above the Seahawks to get him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing that they thought the Seahawks would just let him fall to him.
Right.
I'm guessing if that wasn't happening, that he was going to go to Seahawks at 145. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that it happened to him as like a person.
I agree.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And then like,
I agree with that.
did he bring some of it on himself? Sure. But like also like he didn't need to get prank phone called or whatever. So that was also crazy.
Man.
Yeah.
And what's so crazy about it is it was the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons, his son. Like, if that was my son,
that's a separate issue.
Boy, man.
Well, I was watching, and they said that because that he didn't hire an agent, right? So the Sanders family didn't hire an agent. They were doing everything themselves, whatever. Because of that, his contact information went out
public.
Not public, but it went out on like a more public list to all the teams. Where like if he would have had an agent, he would have been like, no, you're giving my guy's phone number to these 10 teams and these 10 or these 20 coaches, 2 per team.
Yeah.
But because he didn't do that, he was on like a mass communication list that went out to all NFL personnel that were probably subscribed to this. And there was just, I mean, I'm not victim blaming him, but like, it's just like, there's so much that people don't realize that goes, it's just like, it's not about how well he played quarterback at Colorado.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's why
he didn't work out for anybody.
I was about to say he didn't.
He didn't work out the combine. He didn't go to the East West Shrine game.
Bowl. Yeah.
He didn't play in the Senior Bowl. He interviewed poorly. He only worked out at his Pro Bowl. He didn't go to the He didn't go to the draft.
He was just banking on his last name. Is what I think he was trying to do.
I don't know.
Bank on his last name.
Probably should have hired somebody who told him like, "Hey, man, you should probably like be a little bit more
humble,
interested."
I'm not even like I would say, humble or interested. Yeah, those are probably like, "Hey, man, you should probably stop thinking that this is so in the bank because
it's
not. You have to go somewhere where you play inside." Your arm's not that strong. That's probably why the Steelers couldn't draft him.
Maybe good
It's
call.
too cold. Yeah, too cold.
He can't. I don't know.
Good luck playing in Cleveland.
That's the thing.
I'm sorry. Cleveland's getting a new field, though. Cleveland's getting that indoor field.
Like,
yeah,
that's where it sounds like the owner he was like, "Oh, this guy's still available. We could probably make money just on the whatever alone. You better go get him." They're like, "Well, sir, we already drafted this other guy." And he's like, "Well, I want Sanders."
Yeah.
You're like, "Well, I guess we have to go get Sanders."
Yeah, Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought he was gonna have. He had to play somewhere warm or somewhere inside. He benefited from playing in that thin air in Colorado and in that hot air in Mississippi, where he played in Jackson State. Like, he had to play inside. He's Goff. He's Jared Goff. Somebody comped him to Jared Goff, and I think that's a perfect comp.
Nice.
Right system with the right weapons, he's absolutely gonna cook.
Yeah.
He's got a good head coach. I just don't know if he could. We'll see what the.
Well, it also helped that he had Travis Hunter, who probably bailed him out on a lot of those, like a lot of his throws and stuff. If you look at Travis Hunter tape, I mean, some of those throws were pretty bad. But let's, we can get into the show and tell, because I got a couple football cards that I'm gonna show. And then I do definitely want to kind of get into a lot of, like, some of the Bears talk, and then some other players that we think that could be, some pretty good pickups in the NFL offseason. Because, I mean, truly right now is when you should be buying football cards. Markets are low. It's post-draft. You're kind of now starting to see where teams are going to be setting up, coming up, for the summer. I'm really juiced on a couple teams, of course, the Bears being the biggest one. But let's see some cards. Who wants to show off their card? I can go first. I never get to go first.
Go ahead.
All right. So I'm gonna showcase my two recent pickups.
Nice.
For us. These are two jelly. These are not PC cards. These are jelly inventory. So
look for them soon.
First one, the Bryce Young. Yep. The Bryce Young rated rookie optic. This is his stars one. This card looks awesome. With the stars on it, yeah, that's a cool card.
I wish rated rookie did a chrome.
This is optic.
Well, I meant more like all of them were like they were chrome, and then like the base were like refractors. I just like the look of I just like the look of the rated rookie cards over like the base.
Well, because they look like real cards. Like they look like real cards. If I could just swap them in terms of image and like what they look like, I have always preferred the rated rookie cards. I'm big on Bryce Young right now. We can get into it a little bit later on the episode, but I am very, very big on buying Bryce Young cards. But then,
nice
right there,
it's our boy.
PSA 10, Caleb Williams. The green refractor mosaic. Nice. So these were these were two recent pickups that I had at a local card show. I thought I got pretty good deals on both of them. Yeah, of course, us, being from Chicago, we're big on Caleb Williams, big on the Chicago Bears. Surprisingly, Caleb Williams cards are like really affordable right now, in my opinion. Except if you're obviously going kabooms or downtowns or anything like that. But I think a lot of these, like this green refractor mosaic one, it's not numbered or anything like that, so it's very affordable.
Yeah, just the base refractor. Okay.
The reason why I believe you should be buying into football cards right now, and why I think obviously quarterbacks are going to be huge pickups, is once football camp really starts getting going towards August, all the media attention's going to be on training camp, going to be on preseason. I think players like Caleb Williams and Bryce Young are probably going to be two of the most talked about. Obviously, of course, Jaden Daniels as well. So, but I think Jaden Daniels cards are a little too pricey at the moment. So, those are my two show and tell cards. Who's next?
Also, this quarterback class was bad, so
it was bad. That's a good point, Eric. That kind of helps out
I
with
mean,
the
it's
pass
Cam,
quarterback
it's
market.
Cam Ward, and then it doesn't really matter.
I
I
agree.
mean,
Yeah.
I guess maybe it helps that Shedeur signed his rights to Panini.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what that means now for his draft stock, but you should go next. I don't have any. I'm not showing a sports card.
okay. I'll go next.
Yeah.
So
Here comes a Mitch card.
No, I didn't grab any graded cards this time. So a few episodes back, when I don't even know, it might have been months ago, I told Jason that sometimes I buy into breaks for the Cubs and I buy Nico Horner spots just because I want a PC Nico Horner. And last year, I bought into a 2024, I think it was like a 2024 Topps Mega Box case break. And I think this Nico Horner spot went for $2. I had
Nice.
like a max bid of $5. And I ended up watching it and I hit both of these cards in that case, and I was super excited. Same exact card, but they're Nico Horner autos.
Nice.
Oh dang!
Yeah.
You hit 2 autos.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Oh dang! That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I know.
one-
I was super
Out
excited.
of the same case too. That's actually really
Yeah.
good.
So it's the tops on the back. I guess they're the baseball stars autograph card. Nico Horner, Chicago Cubs second baseman. They're not numbered, but anytime I hit any sort of Nico auto or Nico numbered card, I'm super excited. I didn't get them graded. I probably should, but yeah, those are my show and tell cards because I was flipping through my non-graded cards box that I have here, and all I really had was like Nico Blackhawks cards, like some Bears cards, old like 1970s basketball cards. I was like, okay, I think I'll show the Nikos because I remember I talked about it on a podcast episode, and Nico's doing pretty well this year. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, he is, and that's nice about buying into breaks. But like people probably think you're buying into breaks because you're trying to buy the top players or the top teams, and when people don't realize you can buy a spot for $2 and get your favorite player, and even though it's not a rookie card, and hey, look, you walk away with 2 autos.
Yeah,
Hell
that's
yeah.
pretty good.
That's
It's
awesome.
great. If I
Yeah,
went to
that's
a
a-
show and somebody offered me Nico cards for $1, and they were an auto,
Yeah.
I'd buy like 70 of them. I'd buy 100 of them.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's So
I
maybe,
would.
let's not maybe buy 100 of them.
Why not? Hey, for the right price. There's no limit to how many cards John will buy.
That's right.
Unfortunately. Eric, what do you got?
All right, Eric.
Master Ball Dugong
Dang.
from the Japanese 151 set.
That's sweet.
I got this at I think
Dude.
this was the last show we went to, us three, and
Good times.
I got this for like $10.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, all right, yeah, snag. I'll take that. Thank you. So, yeah.
You got that for $10?
I feel like
Oh wow, that's awesome.
no, maybe
Really
I'm
awesome.
way off. I bought it as like a bundle deal. I can't remember what else I
My
bought
man.
with it, but it
I
might
love
have been a Fields cards, honestly.
Well, hey man.
It might have been like a
Hey,
it
we
might
were
have
all
been
there. We were all there.
yeah, let's move on.
We were all there at
Sometime.
some
Yeah.
point buying Justin Fields, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, never again. Never
The
again.
Hey,
last
whoa. Don't
the
worry.
last national that what was it? The last national that was in Chicago is when I got that that optic variation of his, the rated rookie optic
Oh,
variation of
That's a
his
sick
PSA
card,
10.
by the way. That's
It's
a
an
really nice
awesome
card.
card. It's like such a cool
Yeah.
image of him too. So I'm just praying, man, that he stays starting for the Jets and that he can actually
he
do something
is.
for the team. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
at
just
least
kinda
this year,
praying.
I think he is.
I'm praying
Quick.
that he's the guy for them. So
We just need him to do pretty well for like first half of the
Yeah,
season.
that's all I need. Yeah.
We could sell off some Justin Fields cards and make some money.
Yeah,
Or hopefully make
there's
some money back.
dumb Jet
Yeah.
fans for sure.
But back to
yeah.
Pokemon 151 really quick. I feel like I texted you guys. That set is like extremely expensive now.
Yeah, it's taken off again.
Like what
Yep.
what is going on with
Did they reprint it?
I think
No.
it's no.
Maybe it did. I don't know.
I thought it must have. I was kind of thinking it was in a reprint, but
Oh,
I don't
Jason's
know.
probably right. I trust Jason more than I trust myself
Because I
do
know a
see
lot of the Blooming Waters sets were like coming out and stuff,
and those like
especially
little
at
bundles.
Costco and yeah.
But yeah,
Got
like oh my God, Costco. Talking about Costco, that's how I know that 151 is going crazy because all these people are rushing into Costco and like pushing each other and
yep,
wrestling each other
fighting.
for those
Yep,
bundles.
fighting
Like
over
what?
boxes and stuff,
Oh
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. The Blooming Waters thing, Jason.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Blooming Waters was like a new 151 set that was coming out. That was like a huge, huge deal. Everybody wanted the Blooming Waters sets.
So shout out to you, Eric. Good
Yeah,
pickup, even if it's the Japanese set. I think everyone is finally waking up to the fact that hey, these are the Pokemon cards the Pokemon that we grew up with, and
Yeah.
they put them on new art. Why the
yeah.
hell are these cards not more expensive?
Well, I sent you guys that link where, according to Gem Rate, the Japanese cards
Dude,
gem at like
another
88%, while English is sitting at 30 something percent. So if
I
you
know.
really want to buy into some Pokemon cards and get them graded, you should be buying into Japanese.
I know.
But
Who has the whole Pokemon 151 Japanese set?
yeah, I don't
this
know.
guy.
Some
This guy.
loser.
Yeah, some clown.
Loser.
But
Can't
yeah,
even
we don't
speak
have to go
English.
down that
Yeah.
rabbit hole again.
Jason, man, that was amazing, awesome research by you to find that. I think that's like a nice little tidbit to
Yeah.
say again that if you go to GemRate, which is like gemrate.com, and you look up
Yeah, that's an awesome site.
how many PSA 10s are graded, how many of this card and this sport or this Pokemon, whatever, and you check the most recent Japanese sets versus the modern sets, the gem rate for Japanese Pokemon cards, all of them are in the 80s, and all the other sets in English
the
are
English ones are like 30 something percent.
Yeah, 30, less than 30 sometimes.
Yep.
Does not shock me.
Yeah, shout out to Japanese quality control.
That just does not shock me based on what I know about the Japanese culture and working with them in food.
Yeah,
they are
awesome.
They are very, 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 very finicky about quality.
Sweet.
Yeah.
They care about that very much. So
yeah, good shit, Jason.
Yeah,
that was an
but
awesome find.
let's get into some Bears talk. But actually, first, did you guys see that Patrick Mahomes? You see, he signed a deal with Panini I think it's just for 2025. He signed an autograph deal with Panini, so that all these sets, he hasn't signed cards, I think, since his rookie year.
Sounds right.
I think. So I think for the 2025 year, it's been a long time since he signed cards, but for at least for the 2025 year. So it seems like Panini's really trying to go all out for their last year that they're going to have the license. And now they're adding in Patrick Mahomes autos again.
yeah.
So they're going to try to get people to buy up probably as much Panini product as possible to try to get his autographs. And then obviously, everybody knows that 2026 they lose the license, and who knows what's going to happen with Panini cards in the future. But for right now, for these upcoming sets, Patrick Mahomes autos, they're coming back. And people are going to be people are going to be going nuts for those. But let's talk about the Chicago Bears, and I want to get you guys' opinion on their draft. I want to get you guys' opinion on the future of the Bears for going into 2025-2026 season, and also basically the kind of future of Caleb Williams' card market. Because looking at everything that they've done so far in the offseason, looking at what they did in the draft, I am loving what Ben Johnson has done with this team so far, and I love that he's trying to change the culture of the team. He's trying to change the mindset of this franchise from being so defensive driven to clearly he is now standing back going, no, offense. We need offense. So whoever wants to go first, let me get your opinion on how you guys think the Bears did in the draft overall. And then give me kind of your sleeper draft pick that you think might end up being like a huge star for the Bears in the future. Okay. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first because Eric's he's like our go-to pre-draft expert. during
Yeah.
draft expert, pro draft, post draft expert.
Means
So
nothing.
I'll let Eric
None of it
let
means
us know.
anything.
I was honestly shocked that they took the tight end. Eric was not, because Eric knew. He even put a bet on it. He knew that they were going to take a tight end with their first pick.
I should have put the bet on it because of that's just what Ben Johnson does. That's what he did in Detroit. If I would have I wasn't paying any attention to like doing the bet, but I should have.
Yeah, but I really love the Loveland pick not only because of my trust and faith in Ben Johnson, because of everything you just said, Jason. I've been preaching all of that since, I don't know, 2019, 2020. Whenever Mitch got benched, I've always been preaching that the whole Bears culture is just in shambles. Nobody there knows what the hell they're doing when it comes to playing sports and coaching athletes. So Ben Johnson clearly at least is trying to change that culture and kind of hold people accountable, kind of build a, I don't know, strong roster, strong offense, strong defense, whatever the hell you want to call it. So I like that pick a lot. My favorite thing about the pick, I sent this link to my brothers. The Pat McAfee show. What's his name, Eric? The beat writer who's not Schefter. Who's the other guy?
Rappaport.
Yeah, Rappaport was on the Pat McAfee show, and he said that during the draft, I don't know if other people saw this as well, he was getting a lot of buzz. Like a lot of teams were trying to trade up. Like Cleveland was trying to trade up, Pittsburgh was trying to trade up. A lot of teams and a lot of calls were happening. And usually they don't really tell you who they're going to get. And he said that on the show. He's like, you don't really know who they're going for because people want to keep it on the hush hush. But then at pick number 10, or was it 10? I think it was 10.
Yeah, 10.
At pick number 10, when the Bears took Loveland, all of a sudden the calls stopped. People weren't trying to trade up anymore. So clearly other teams in the NFL were very interested in taking Loveland. At least that's what the signs point to. And Ben Johnson / the Bears, I feel like we're ahead of the curve there. And that makes me happy, and it makes me, I guess, hopeful and optimistic for how good Loveland is going to be in the NFL.
Yeah.
So he's, I guess, my favorite pick. After reading some of the stuff about Luther, I'm starting to love him a lot too. Mm-hmm. Just the work ethic, kind of similar to my Matt Shaw appreciation and love. It was awesome that Luther posted a photo or tweeted out a photo, I don't remember, maybe it was Instagram, that he was training at like midnight after he didn't get taken in the first round. I thought that's something that I would love to see.
He should have, apparently, according to, I was watching the facility, and Acho and James Jones both said that he was a first round, he should have been a first round talent, and the fact that he fell to the second round was very shocking to them.
Yeah, so I love that a lot too. So both the Bears' first two picks, it may sound very chalky of me to say like, the first two picks are going to be potential good players, but stuff like that really gets me excited and gets me like happy to watch the Bears and watch these players and see how they pan out. But
we ran a 4.41 in the 40, man.
It's pretty fast. I think we should run a 40. The four of us. I want to see how fast we can run a 40. I think it'd be a lot of fun. We should make it a social media post. See how fast Jason truly is. How much speed he's got left.
My fastest 55 was like 6.43 or something like that. I don't know, maybe.
Dear God.
That was my
fast. Like 8 seconds.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
But all right. Anyway, Eric, I want to hear your thoughts on the draft, because side note, Eric, very into the mock drafts, very into the pre-drafts.
Yeah.
Watches the draft every year.
Less nowadays than it used to be. I do still watch the draft, though. Yes, that is true.
How you feeling?
I lied. 6.57. My bad. 6.57 was my 55.
I wasn't going to. This draft was pretty. As I said to my buddy who I watch it with every year, I was like, "Great draft, weak draft in a very poopy city, like perfect
poopy."
Pairing. Yeah, just like
poopy city with a bunch of poo-poo heads.
Yeah, just a poopy city with just like a weak draft. So perfect. So like no quarterbacks. There were like the wide receivers were not great compared to the last couple of years. It was a very like meat and potatoes sort of draft almost. So, which was kind of, I don't know. First round was fine. If you cared about Shadur Sanders, that was funny or heartbreaking, depending on the side you fell on. I think the Bears the best. What am I supposed to answer? The most intriguing pick that I like.
Yeah.
I like Zoff Frazier, the 5th-round corner, because he runs 4.3 and he has a 6'8" wingspan. So that's
Damn.
and he plays press corner.
Hell yeah.
Even more importantly, he locked up Matthew Golden when he played Texas last year. I think Matthew Golden caught one pass on him, like one pass that he was defending him directly on.
Damn.
I think he also picked. I think he got a pick in that game too. Texas on a route that was going to Golden. So
Sick.
yeah, I'm very intrigued by that. If Al Harris wants him, I'm intrigued by that. That worked out well. I like Jason also like the 7th-round pick.
Yeah, man. Kyle Monungai, man.
Yeah, I'm a big fan
dude's
of.
built like a tree trunk, man.
I'm a big fan of running backs who want to step up and just absolutely fucking crack linebackers. So, like, I love it. If he's gonna like put some blindside blitzing corner on his absolute ass,
Yep.
love it. Come on for third down.
Yeah.
Come on the field for third down and just block. I don't care. That'll get him on the field. And that's all that matters, really.
Well,
so,
that was a part of his scouting report is that he actually is a good pass blocker, which is great. They say he can run some routes, but I mean, of course, he's only 5'8". Yeah, we're talking about Kyle Monungai. He's only 5'8", but he's 5'8", 211. I'm telling you, dude.
Oh yeah,
dude's
he's
built like a tree trunk.
Yeah, he's like a bowling
like
ball.
He's muscular.
Yeah,
he runs.
Ball. Yeah.
He runs a 4.6, but his I think his 10-yard split was like just as fast as like Luther Burden. So he's quick. He's quick.
And that's
his cuts are awesome. Like he's gonna be. Yeah. He looks like when you watch tape of him, he doesn't look like he should have been a 7th rounder.
Yeah,
but
there's game speed and line speed.
Yeah, and I think he doesn't need. I don't think you need the Chris Johnsons at running back anymore. Like it's good to have guys who can just get you the dirty yards, man. Like smash mouth football, just run at him. And then he's quick enough to get the cuts too that he can probably. I think he was averaging over like 5 yards a carry in his senior year. Oh, yeah. And not to mention, how many fumbles do you think he had in his whole career at Rutgers?
Oh boy,
I know he had 0 in his senior year.
0.
Oh, in his whole career,
this guy fumbled the ball 0 times his entire collegiate play.
Oh man,
yeah.
Coach,
he's very Monty light. If you look into their combine scores and just stuff and just like that advanced stats, like his yards after contact, how he doesn't fumble. I don't think Monty fumbled his senior year. Like it was very similar.
Not to mention his I believe his junior and senior year, he rushed for over 1,200 yards.
Yeah,
both. And he had 13 rushing touchdowns his senior year with Rutgers.
I just like that he blocks. I don't care because that's what's gonna get him on the field.
We're dropping F-bombs right now, man. We're just dropping F-bombs.
Who cares, man? Who cares?
Who cares? Nobody's listening.
Geeked up. We're talking football. That's what happens.
I like
smash mouth football.
I like the look of the Bears going into training camp, going into preseason right now. I love that they are so offensive driven right now because I think that is exactly what the Bears need to be. The NFL is an offensive league right now, as you can tell by, other teams in the league who are just I think Caleb has a really good chance to be our first 4,000-yard passer in Bears franchise, history. So when you're looking at Caleb and you're going into the offseason from a collector standpoint, from a hobby standpoint, is he not maybe the best player out of all sports to be buying into right now after looking at this?
Eliminating bias? I might have to
eliminating
agree
the
with
bias. Like I personally still think if according, when you're looking at cards, and I wrote down some of his card prices, because even his Silver Prism rookie in a PSA 10, one sold yesterday for $705. I think that's attainable for a Silver Prism, comparing to, I mean, if you look up like what's Joe Burrow's like Silver Prism going for now. Let me see.
And I think Jaden Daniels
Great
is sitting
question.
at like 1,300, by the way.
Yeah.
Jaden's like double.
Let's see. I just now want to.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if I have to pick one, then yeah, I'm definitely taking Caleb because you can get two of those for one.
But that's what I'm saying. At 705 for a silver, something that everybody's chasing, like that's the cards you want from Prism, basically. Like Joe Burrow, PSA 10, Silver Prism, one sold April 22nd for $1,400.
Yeah, again, double the price of Caleb.
So buy it at 705, and you can end up doubling this price. And I think all the attention is going to be on Caleb Williams. All the attention is going to be on Ben Johnson. The Bears are. I think everybody's going to be looking at this team come August, and I think a lot of Caleb Williams cards are going to be going up. I mean, it's just.
I agree with you.
I think he might be one of the best choices to buy into currently right now, because I think a lot of it is, like you said, I think a lot of people are looking at Jaden. And a lot of people are looking at Jaden cards. Oh, he went to an NFC championship game his rookie year. Look what he did. I'm not taking anything away from him. But if you're looking at how the Bears are stacking up right now with Ben Johnson, that head coach, and what he's doing for this team, I think if we don't have a stack of Caleb cards like this tall, I think we made a mistake.
Yeah, well,
just saying.
Well, we said the same thing about somebody else,
right?
So.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to jump ahead, because that's the unfortunate thing about the Bears. Bears usually have a really good offseason, and then they crap the bed come the first play of the game. So
when
the first play of the game,
matters.
when the first play of the game is a screen for negative yards, like season's done.
Oh no!
Second play is a wide receiver screen.
Yeah.
Third place with handoff since it's 3rd and 19.
Yep. 3 and out instantly. Season's over.
Yeah, man.
But John, what's your opinion on it, man?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, I'm doing my best to eliminate the bias here for people who listen to this podcast episode as an actual hobbyist and trying to make money on cards. I agree with you. I think that I've always preached that once off season hits, that's usually the time that I look to buy cards. I look to buy. When it comes to the NFL, I look to buy quarterbacks. When it comes to other sports, I look to buy superstars or people who get a lot of points, people who score a lot of goals, all that stuff. And in terms of the NFL, based on, again, eliminating bias, based on the Bears draft, I think the general consensus in like the quote-unquote experts and the analysts is that the Bears had a really great draft. Their picks, I think, inflated the offensive expectation, and Caleb's coming on his second year. I'm expecting better things from Caleb, and last year was the best rookie quarterback year that any Bears player has ever had. And I'm taking it with a grain of salt because it's only his second year. He's got a whole new offense with Ben Johnson, but I have confidence in Ben Johnson to make sure that Caleb succeeds, which is something I rarely say about any Bears coach in the last 7 years of my life. So I'm confident. I think what you said, Jason, in terms of cards market is a great point. There's probably other QBs out there that you can find for a good price, and you can kind of do a similar research / analysis and think to yourself, hey, this team drafted offensive heavy. This quarterback had an okay year last year. They're either in the same system or they got a new, better, quote-unquote, offensive system. Their card market should and hopefully will go up. But no guarantees. But
Jaden's Silver Prism sitting at $1,280 was the last sold.
Exactly. $500 more than Caleb's. I feel like Caleb can get to at least 1,000, if not to 1,300.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Eric. It's all like, it's very hype driven. It's very like, hey,
it's all hype.
Yeah, he had a Hail Mary game winner against the Bears. It was the best Hail Mary I've ever seen in my life. He went to the NFC Championship.
Caleb had a better TD to interception ratio than Jaden. He threw 50 yards less than Jaden. But because Jaden's team won more games, which is great for Jaden and great for the Washington team, that's why the prices are up. But talking individual quarterback skill.
I mean, he
one guy
threw more interceptions than Jaden or than Caleb.
Yeah,
well, that's what I mean. The TD to interception
they went 12-5,
less.
and we went 5-12.
That's what I mean. So, and one team had the entire coaching staff changed over, first time in franchise history, and the other team didn't. So
yeah, I'm excited. I think I don't know. I agree with you, Jason. I have already spent my jelly budget on mostly Caleb cards. I think we should buy more. If not Caleb, then I feel like there should be other quarterbacks or football players that we should be looking at. Hockey too, basketball. I think now's the time. But I could swing it over to Eric. Eric, to you, I don't know if you could think of one off the top of your head. I'm trying to think of some now. I feel like Bryce Young is another good example. But
yeah, Bryce Young was my other pick. Yeah.
If not Caleb, who should I be looking at?
JJ McCarthy.
I've been looking at a lot of JJ McCarthy cards too.
You don't want to buy Drake Maye, Jason?
Those got to be pretty. Those got to be pretty cheap.
How about some Sam Laporta cards, John?
Oh Jesus, here we go.
John trying to sit there and call me out because I said, "Oh yeah, I would take a Drake Maye card." This guy's over there buying up Sam Laporta, then trying to call me a Patriots fan.
Trying to help you out on the podcast here. Would you not buy Drake Maye cards, Jason?
At this point, no. Right now, no. What are we?
Yeah, Eric. Sorry, Eric. That's my fault.
It's so good. It's so good.
That's my bad.
My guess. That's my only.
Yeah,
that would
JJ.
be my. It would be JJ is my only other thought is because there's no baseline to go off of.
Yeah.
He's with an absolutely fantastic coach.
Amazing coach.
Throwing to the best wide receiver in football.
In the league. Yep.
So,
yes.
He's got a great left tackle. Yeah, it's like, you know,
he's got a good tight end.
Vikings are always pretty good at offense. So,
yeah.
And I don't know. KOC is going to not let him sort of just look like absolute poo-poo. So,
I agree with you.
Do
you think people are too big on Bo Nix? Do you think people are kind of overbuying on Bo Nix?
Sean Payton is a douche. So I'll never buy Bo Nix cards.
Just because of Sean Payton being a douche. I mean,
I feel like people are too big on Bo Nix.
How much are his silvers going for?
I mean, he had 200 more yards than Caleb. He did have 29 passing touchdowns, which is actually a pretty decent amount, but he threw 12 picks, though.
Wait a minute. His silver PSA 10 sits around 430, 450. Worth the risk? In terms of the hobby, not in terms of coach and coach personality.
Nope.
I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, sitting at 400 to be realistic, for a silver prism, you probably can take the risk on at least one. I still think you could take a risk at 705 on Caleb.
Exactly.
Now, taking the risk on a almost $1,300 Jaden card, I don't know about that.
I mean,
but anything under 1,000 for a silver prism for a quarterback that's starting with a high ceiling. Yeah, I think you're safe.
I agree with you.
I think you're safe to do that.
Okay, now that we've, I'm trying to think of outside of rookie cards or outside of rookie year. I feel like CJ's market might be actually a little bit more affordable now, and I wouldn't mind picking up some CJ cards. And same with ya boy, not my boy, Justin Herbert. I said that last year too.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk Lamar.
No, oh God, I don't imagine Lamar's cards are down that much. Especially after his supposed to be third MVP.
Should have been his third MVP.
I'm just like
Allegedly.
I get so annoyed that not enough people talk about how like Jaden and Bo Nix both played 2 more years of college football than Caleb Williams.
Don't matter, bro.
Shouldn't both those people be better than him theoretically?
No.
Because those same people bitch about how there's not enough development in quarterbacks in the NFL now, and like how there's like we need like a minor league system, and then the same breath is like, look at these guys, they're awesome. Well, yeah, man, they've been playing 2 years longer.
What the hell's going on over there?
Just like I can't stand just like the hysteria in this media. Like, it's just so bad.
Oh, it is, man. Yeah, that's all it ever is.
It's just so bad. And like Jaden Daniels sucked his first 3 years. Possibly, like even his 4th year, he was not even that good, and his 5th year, he was great. So like,
yeah,
it's just like what are we doing? Like
all that, all they care about is what have you done for me lately.
Bo Nix been playing college football forever, dog.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Caleb started as like a true freshman and just like came in and just like won the Red River rivalry. Like, so I don't know. There's like a difference, you know, which is why he was first.
That's why that happens. That's why people are like, oh, he's first overall pick, first pick. He needs to be amazing. He's not amazing. Jaden had an amazing year. Let's buy up Jaden. Jaden's a beast.
Hey, it helps us out because we don't want to buy Jaden cards. I want to buy, and that's why I'm big on Bryce Young. Everybody, listen, Bryce Young, obviously, if you look at the stats from the last 2 years are not great. But all I'm looking at is his last 3 games he played last year. Yeah. That's what I care about. When he went 2-1, he threw 7 touchdowns in those 2 games, 0 interceptions. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. That's what I care about. He didn't have a lot of passing yards. He only threw, I think it was like 612 or something like that, but his completion percentage was almost 65%. And I like the 7 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. I think him getting benched is kind of something that needed to happen for him, because it kind of, I think, maybe reset his mentality a little bit. I think there was just too much pressure riding on him. But I think going into this offseason, especially after their first round pick that they had, they took the best wide receiver, according to what the combine showed. Yeah, according to the combine report, he was the best receiver in McMillan.
Burden.
So, yeah. Well,
right.
Burden was the second best, according to the combine. But the Panthers gave Bryce Young what we can assume to be a number 1 wide receiver in McMillan from Arizona. So, he has.
Don't they also have the other guy, Eric? What's his name? Who talks hilariously?
Leggett. Yeah,
Leggett. Oh, I love that guy.
Oh yeah,
him too. Awesome. Another great wide receiver. Sorry, Jason, keep going.
Yeah. Well, they had a good. I think they took 2 wide receivers, because I think their last pick was a wide receiver from Colorado, and then they also took I think in the 6th round, a tight end.
Oh, they took Jimmy Horn. Oh, good for them. He's
I think
fast.
So.
Yeah.
So, I mean, looking at it, like if you look at McMillan for Bryce Young, if you look at his college stats, last year he had over 1,300 yards receiving, 84 receptions, 8 touchdowns. For his career at Arizona, he has over 3,400 yards receiving, which is the school's record. So, I mean, I think, and look at Bryce Young cards. Let me go over these. So a 2023 Panini Orange Disco Prism Rookie PSA 10 on April 29th sold for $100.
Damn.
Yeah. His like we were talking about earlier, his Optic Hollow rated rookie PSA 10 sold for $81. He had his Panini Prism Silver PSA 10, $227.50 was the last one sold. For his silver, you want to talk about taking a risk? Give me 3 of those.
Exactly.
And then, just for John, because I know John will like this, his 2023 Panini Prism Hyper Prism Rookie numbered out of 175, graded in SGC 10, sold for $190.50.
Terrible.
Yeah, what an idiot.
Yeah,
right?
Big time idiot.
But
didn't you just say it sold for less than the silver and that card is numbered?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, but okay, come on. Let's not joke like we don't understand cards, John. Because doesn't a 1 out of 150 first Bowman Chrome blue sell for more than an out of 99 green?
Yeah.
So don't sit there and act like you don't know cards just to be a jerk.
If that same
let's not try to call me out. Let's not try to call me out, not knowing that Panini Silver Prism Panini cards are the number one cards to pick.
Okay, if that card was a PSA 10, don't you think it would sell for more than the silver?
I mean, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe.
All right.
Isn't the silver? Okay, so tell me why an out of 150 blue sells for more than an out of 75 yellow, John.
It's because the 150 is more sought after.
Isn't that what I just said for the Silver Prism?
Yeah.
That's all I'm hearing, man. That's all I'm hearing from you.
Eric, you know what I'm trying to say? If that Hyper Prism or whatever you just said was in a PSA 10, it would sell for more than the silver PSA 10.
John wants to just sit there and act like he doesn't know cards.
What?
He's trying to point out that sometimes the grading house brings down the value of the card.
Thank you, Eric. That's all I was trying to get at there. Because Jason was like, "Oh, John, you're gonna love this one. It's an SGC 10." I was just trying to defend myself.
Yeah, but what Jason should have said is if it was a super duper SGC 10.
Oh, there you go.
Then it would have been priceless. Because then you're not selling it.
Then you keep it. Keep it forever. Because only you have the super duper 10. Yeah.
That's right.
There's no other super duper 10s in existence.
But anyways, give me 3 of the Bryce Young, the silvers.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take 3
Absolutely.
of them.
I agree with you there. I think that's a great... Everything we've said leading up to that price point is perfect because I also want to kind of circle back and not take anything away from Jaden Daniels. Like,
wait, hold on. Don't we have a silver? Didn't we buy one?
Yeah, we do.
We still have it, right?
Yes, sir. But, yeah, I want all QB rookie cards in silver, including Caleb, to get to the Jaden Daniel price level. I want them to get to the Joe Burrow price point. God, I'd be ecstatic if they got to like a Mahomes price point. But that's the point that we're making here. Like, if you are willing to take a risk, and we talk about it all the time on jelly cards, it's nicer to take that risk on lesser value cards. You have a really great opportunity for that card to see. I don't want to say that the $200 Bryce Young card is going to go to $1,400, but it could go to $400, and you just double your money. And in terms of investments, that's an amazing return. So,
do you know where Patrick Mahomes sits at for his? Well,
oh man,
it's hard to compare him to Mahomes because it's kind of unfair that every rookie card back then was a silver prism.
Good job,
so
Jason.
Anytime you got a silver prism of Patrick Mahomes, it was all a rookie card of Patrick. It was already a silver. His last sold was 4,235.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But just let that sink in a little bit, though. Like, obviously, to compare a Caleb, a Bryce, a Jaden to Patrick Mahomes it's a tough comparison because you can't do that right. You can't right now.
Ever.
But, I don't know, ever.
But if Caleb wins 2 to 3 Super Bowls, Eric?
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like,
let's start with 1.
Yeah, I'd be very happy with 1.
That's what people probably said about Patrick Mahomes. Hey, let's just start at 1, and the next thing you know.
I'm curious to know where. I feel like Joe Burrow too might be in the at least. How much did we already talk about his price? It's probably in that.
Yeah, 1,400.
4 figures. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, 1,400.
He didn't even win one yet.
Yeah. Hold on? Let me look at Josh Allen real quick.
Joe Burrow is so much more like Herbert than people want to admit.
Whoa.
Like in a good way or a bad way?
Yeah.
Like in a terms of like everybody is like the aura and the mythos around them.
Disagree. Joe Burrow's the shit. Justin Herbert, non-gamer. Joe Burrow, gamer.
Okay.
I can't find a Josh Allen one. I only found autos right now. I hate that you type in Silver Prism,
They're
and
both
then next
good.
thing you
They're
know,
both
I'm just
great
getting selects.
physically skilled quarterbacks. Like, let me get that, but just like, I don't know, like
talking about Herbert and Burrow.
It's just like, like, how come Burrow hasn't been back or even relevant in the playoffs since that 1 year?
Because he got no defense.
I'm just like, okay,
because
well,
he has to because defense gives up 40 points and he has to score 41.
I understand that the Bengals. Yes, I understand the whole
that's
Bengals
tough, man.
contract situation. It's just that's why you can't just make it a quarterback versus quarterback league.
Hey, man,
that's the whole point.
By the way, Josh Allen.
Burrow... Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, I was just gonna say Josh Allen's PSA 9 Silver Prism. 1,169 for a PSA 9.
Damn. Okay. Yep. Didn't Burrow? Yep. I was gonna say, didn't Burrow have like an amazing year last year?
Yeah, he was in MVP talk.
Statistically, yeah.
Yeah, statistically, yes.
Statistically, yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah, back on topic. It's time, I think, in general, to look at buying football cards. In the defense of like the people who want to kind of play devil's advocate, around draft time things get a little bit pricier because of what we've talked about. The hype, the whole like, oh my god, Carolina just added this amazing wide receiver, Bears just took this amazing tight end, whoever, New England picked up an amazing blocking guard, lineman, blah blah blah. Drake Maye's gonna have more time, yada yada yada.
Blocking guard, that's good.
It might be a tough time currently to buy them right now, but I would like once baseball picks up a little bit more, we get closer to the All-Star break and the draft hype dies down, I think it might be time to buy. And could I be wrong? Sure, but I'm just trying to give my opinion here on how Jelly Cards chooses to operate or how I approach the hobby when it comes to buying cards to sell them.
No, yeah, I completely agree, and I think that's a good stopping point. Because I don't even think you have to wait until the good thing about it is baseball's really picking up. We're now obviously getting out of the first month of the season. A lot of people are going to be hyped up on on baseball. Of course, obviously, NBA playoffs is happening, NHL playoffs is happening. A lot of really great matchups and a lot of really great games are happening right now. So I think a lot of people's focus are on watching those players, and they're not necessarily paying attention to the football market because they're probably paying attention to their own cards that they potentially have in order to watch markets and sell while these games are currently going on. So I think right now is the perfect time to kind of snag up some football cards because, hey, like now you can, like I said earlier, you can kind of start to understand what teams are going to potentially look like, especially those lower tier teams like a Chicago Bears, like a Carolina Panthers.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, in terms of like record last year,
Yeah, right.
Like,
no, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you can look at some of these lower record, New England Patriots, the Carolina Panthers, I think the horizon is looking nice. But that's my opinion. Eric, do you have any last thoughts? And then John can take us away.
No.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
John, take us away.
And we're out. Okay, final thoughts. What did we even talk about in the beginning of the podcast? Bears mostly?
Well, the draft overall.
Yeah, draft. Okay.
Oh, we talked about Shadir.
Yeah, we talked about Sanders in the NFL draft, talked about Bears picks, talked about just NFL draft in general. And then we finally got into the hobby talk. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you are in the hobby and you are currently buying cards and you agree with us or disagree with us that now is the time to buy football cards, by all means, please reach out to us on social media. The purpose of this podcast always has been to promote discussion, promote hobby talk, promote hobby debate, just kind of bounce ideas off each other so that we can all buy cards, sell cards, grade cards, sell cards, all that kind of stuff. We can all make money and grow in the hobby. Reach out to us on Instagram and X, aka Twitter, at Jelly Cards. We have Facebook too. I feel like I've never mentioned the Facebook. I'm on there at least once a day, just kind of looking at breaks and other things like that. We have a YouTube channel. The podcast will be posted to our YouTube channel at Jelly Cards, JELICARDS. If you enjoy the podcast, by all means, please rate the podcast, follow us on Apple and Spotify. I would really appreciate that. Make my day, make my week. And yeah. Bears fans, if you want to just talk Bears talk, hey, we love that too. We are unfortunately diehard Bears fans. It's been a pretty miserable past few years, for me especially.
Life.
Yep, my whole life. We had one shining moment with Jason Spoyers, Rex, and Lovey in the D. But
that's right.
Anyway, yeah, please reach out. Like, sports and cards are what we love, and having those discussions is what kind of drew us into the hobby. So, thank you, everyone. Yeah, I hope we have an amazing weekend and an amazing week ahead. And as always, keep spreading the love of the hobby from your friends at Jelly Cards.